Mr. Chairman, and thank you for allowing me to wave onto this committee for this important oversight committee hearing, and happy to have the governors here to hopefully answer some questions, and just to address a couple things that that I've heard in this committee hearing. I haven't appeared on oversight before. I do serve in a much milder Ways and Means Committee, but I just want to say a couple things about what this committee, what we're doing today, and about sanctuary cities. We are all children of immigrants. My grandparents met at Ellis Island. They sat in quarantine. They came from other countries. They came here to work. That's not what this is about. This hearing is about people who have taken advantage of our borders and our country, who have come in as illegal cartels, who have overrun our northern border, which is part of my district in upstate New York, in New York 24. And these people have taken operational control of our southern and our northern border. And we need our governors to make sure that they're providing the law enforcement backup to our ICE agents and others, and not assisting and aiding and abetting in such a way to these illegal immigrants, particularly the cartels. And I think one of the most important things, I'm sick of hearing everyone defaming my constituent, actually, Tom Homan, who's doing an excellent job and who served our country honorably. His big concern, and I think it's a big concern for me, because when I served in the state legislature, Governor Hochul wasn't there as either the lieutenant governor or the governor, but I was one of the leaders on human trafficking. And one of the important questions that Tom Homan talked about repeatedly is, where are the 300,000 children who were human trafficked by people who are profiting off of this human trafficking? Not just drug trafficking, human trafficking, innocent children all through our interior. We don't know where they are. Those are the people that I'm concerned about. And what ICE is trying to do is get to those people who are taking these children and profiting off them and having no regard. And that's what worries me the most, is we've gotten off track on a number of things. And what concerns me is we have this defund and demoralize the police movement brought to a level where we're defunding and demoralizing ICE agents who are simply doing their job to protect our borders. And what concerns me is, and I know Governor Hochul, and obviously I'm going to address you because you're my governor, people have addressed the billions of dollars that New York State taxpayers, by the way, the highest taxed taxpayers in the entire nation now. We're always in a struggle with California, who's more, who's less, and I think we're winning out this race now. Not a good distinction, by the way. Not a good distinction to have a northern border that's overrun by people who are human trafficking, bringing illicit drugs into our communities. I've had three parents in my community, my own home community, where their sons died of overdoses because of illegal fentanyl. So these are real issues that are coming from people that are coming across our borders. So we know we've spent billions of dollars on all kinds of illegal immigrants in New York State. The estimate is between New York City and New York State, it's about $7 billion, and that's New York taxpayer dollars. Those are my tax dollars, people constituents I serve who go to work every day. And all we're trying to do is keep these communities safe. And you mentioned that, Governor Hochul, that you were talking about keeping these communities safe. But I want to ask you a question. And I've got a series of questions, and some of them have been asked by my colleagues. But I want to ask you right now, because you're the governor of our state, and you've been presiding over a pretty disastrous situation with our prisons, and many of those prisons, including one of the maximum security prisons, is actually in my district, and a number of other facilities. Are there any criminal, illegal gang members in the New York State prison system right now? Just, yes, if there are.
No, Congressman,
I know how many, and if you can't get me the answer, can your staff provide us with a general information on that?
No, I'll tell you this. I totally agree with you, Congresswoman, that more needs to be done to protect our border. We've asked for support from the federal government for the border that you represent, and I know so well. I've had to deploy $8 million of my own state dollars to amp up.
Well, there are state dollars, but let me just take this back. Let me ask you back about let me get to the prisons, because I want to get into another thing. Are there criminal, illegal immigrant gang members in the New York State prison system right now?
If there are, there will be a 30-day.
Yes. Do you know if there are?
I'm sure there are.
But do you know?
I've already sent 1,300.
That's all I want to know. Can you get
I've already had ICE take 1,300 of them upon.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you. Can we get the information about how many of these, whether they're Trende or Ragua, whether they're MS-13, Crips, Bloods? I've toured the prisons. I've seen, people that they line up in rows. I want to know how many of our illegal immigrants that are putting not only other inmates at risk, but also our prison guards who are at risk. Because right now, these types of people are in our prison system are putting our corrections officers at risk. And by you shutting down and cutting off the ability of our corrections officers who are trained to deal with these kind of people there, we're losing the ability of having the trained people there. And our National Guard are wonderful people who serve our communities, but they're not trained to be able to do this, and many of them are underage in that. Can I get the information from you on that?
Certainly, and again, I just want to reaffirm that if there's someone convicted of a crime in our prison, they will be deported. We let ICE know 30 days before the end of their sentence, and that's why I've sent 1,300 people already just since I've been governor out of our country. I don't want them here any more than you do.
Okay, can I just ask you one last, because you talked about you don't support a sanctuary city. Right now you were lieutenant governor when this was signed into law under Governor Cuomo. We have the green light law. It prohibits the local DMVs, gives driver's licenses to illegal aliens, which you once didn't support, but now you do. You've admitted that today. Under the green light law, would you support repealing the green light law so that we could allow ICE agents to work with our federal, with our DMV to find out when these people drive across the Canadian border and they have a carload full of innocent children and they can't find any information on them because they get a legal license? Can you just give me that information?
Last question, but feel free to answer it.
We
Governor.
absolutely share information on such situations with ICE. That is our job.
Do you
We
support
provide-
repealing the green
Get
light
a
law?
lady's time's expired.